do we have any prerequisite like to know something?
There is no prerequisite for that. I mean, because that does not require you to have Python knowledge as well. No, there's no prerequisite.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of new questions. 1,000. I'm just saying we are just starting with 1,000. They in 6 months you will see they will reach up to 5,000. So there will also be an option where you can upload your own question and you can send a request. We will see those questions. If they are good, we will put them on a website. So let's start. I mean, let's talk about practice later. Let's start the concepts. So we discussed about window function, ranking function, right? In the last class, we discussed about rank, we discussed about dense rank, and we discussed about row number, dense rank and row number. So suppose you are given a question that someone asks you that suppose there's a data set of suppose there's a country, let's say there's USA is a country, it has 51 Walmart stores, and in each Walmart store there are a lot of transaction starting from 9 a.m. in morning till 5 p.m. in evening. Okay, suppose I ask you that so two questions I'm going to ask you. First of all, uh, tell me top three transactions, at each store. Okay, one question is this, and second question is tell me people people with uh, highest three transactions. How will you do this? For both questions, tell me. So there is a data set. I don't have data right now. I'm just assume a hypothetical data you have. So you have there's a country USA. It has 51 Walmart stores. Each store has a lot of transactions. So every day 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have to write a SQL query to get the top three transactions at each store. So suppose you have a transaction ID. So data is something like that, transaction ID, and you have a customer name. Okay, and then you have transaction amount. Suppose there are three variables in the data set. So how will you go about solving top three transactions at each store and people with highest three transactions? How will you solve this?
Uh, Top three transaction will be from dense rank, and top three people with the highest transaction is row number.
Read the question again. How will you solve each of the question? I'm repeating it once again. You have nothing. Listen once again. You have a data where you have a transaction ID, name of the customer, transaction amount, or sorry, store ID as well. Because there are 51 stores, right? So store ID. So these four variables are there in the data. Now, question is, tell me the top three transactions at each store. Okay. And second is people with highest three transactions. What does this mean? And what does this mean? And how will you solve them? We spent almost 1 hour in last class on this topic.
So for top three transactions, we can
Top
use row number.
top three means we can use rank.
There are 3 window functions. We spoke about rank,
Rank,
dense
dense
rank,
rank, and row.
and row number.
Yes.
Which one will be used at and which in which question?
Uh, top three. Top three.
Did you
Roll.
do you guys even revise the lectures?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm
First,
seeing that. Tell me, what will you do with the first question?
We can use row number.
What is the reason for row number?
So row number gives all the unique unique ranks for each and every transaction. So
What is the meaning of first question? Can you tell me? I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'm just asking.
It may
What is
take duplicates also if there are like um, 3 transactions of same amount also, that in that
we
those 3 transactions will be taken.
in the first
we
question? Tell me this thing. Suppose this
we
is a data for let's say talk about one. Let's talk about one store. Let's say this is one store. So this is store ID, for example. Let's say this is transaction ID, this is customer name, and this is transaction amount. Okay. So let's say this is store ID, this is transaction ID, this is name, and this is amount. So the store, let's say, remains same. A. Transaction ID will be different, right? 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. And let's say name is A, B, C, D, E. Okay, these are the 5 things. Suppose the transaction, this is of $200, this is of $230, this is of $230, this is also of $210, and this is of let's say 190. Okay, so when I say top 3 transaction, what does it mean? For this store, what is meant by top 3 transactions? Does it mean 230, 210, or 200? Does it mean this, or it means 230, 230, and 210?
second one, bro.
Second one.
230, 230, 210.
If this is the case, then why are you saying dense rank?
It's row.
The row you're saying now, why did you say dense rank then? If I say something, will you change your concepts? What does it mean? Top 3 transactions at each store. Do I mention that only the top 3 means whatever transactions are coming in the top 3? Then that's it. It does not matter to duplicate or not. The first question will be solved using row number. But you need to have your concepts cleared. That's what I'm speaking about. What is the meaning of question number 2?
so it wants the first 3 highest.
First 3 highest.
People with highest 3 transactions.
Yes.
So what are the highest 3 transactions from the data set?
230, 210, and
230, 210,
200.
and
200.
all the people who contain these transactions, they will come there. Here you will see only 3 rows. Here you can see 300 rows as well. Try to understand. This is the play around with English, and this is very, very common question. I mean, it's not like that I have made it complicated. Like in questions, you will see this. Like it's a very standard like language which you will read in questions. Tell me people with highest three transactions. So what is the meaning of highest three? Ask yourself, do I need to return people or do I need to return transaction? Here, what did I need to return? Tell me in this question. In the first
Transaction.
question, I wanted transactions. So I wanted top three transactions. In second, I wanted people with top three transactions. So transaction 1, 2, 3. Now transaction 1 can be done by multiple people, 2 can be done by multiple people, 3 can be done by multiple people. So here there is no restriction of number of rows. Here there is a restriction of number of rows. That is important. Is it clear? Yes, no, maybe. We discussed this in last class, still it's fine, but is this clear now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. When I will ask next question, then I will also want to see. Yes, yes.
Bro, today you are on fire.
I'm not on fire, yaar. I'm just asking. This you should have remembered. Anyways, let's move forward with the new concept. So we discussed about the three major functions: rank, dense rank, and uh, row
Row
number.
number.
So
Row
everyone is
number.
clear with this, right?
Yes, yes.
I said that way so that you remember. So that what if I changed my concept, right? Remember, you don't have to follow me. You have to follow the right logic, right? I can be wrong. I'm not perfect, right? So you just have to ensure what is being asked in question. I can play around with questions. So you have to stick to the right concept. That's why I was speaking like that, right? Otherwise, I'm in chill mood. I don't have any problem. So let's move forward with lead and lag. How many of you know about this? Yeah, please. Yeah, you can ask.
No, raising hand, you ask now, then who all
Yeah,
know
yeah, please.
about.
Okay, so tell me. I mean, if you know, then tell me. Then what is lead lag?
So basically lead, which means the upfront value, and lag, which means the previous value. So lead and lag, that's what the
Hmm. So what does lead mean? That suppose you have a data. Let's go to Postgres. Or leave it. Let's go to Excel first. Is this visible or shall I zoom it more?
Visible.
Visible. Okay. So this is the data. I mean, this data is present in the drive which I shared with you. So if you see, the data is of players, their runs in different, let's say, IPL seasons. So let's say there is Virat Kohli, his runs in 16, 17, 18. MS Dhoni in 16, 17, 18. Bumrah in, like, if you see, all seasons are increasing. And you have their points, runs, or something, or wicket, like whatever is there. Suppose I ask you, let's say, forget about lead lag. Suppose I ask you, what is the percentage increase in runs scored by Virat Kohli from 2016 to 17? How will you do it? Percentage increase in runs scored by Virat Kohli, or let's say every player, or let's for now Virat Kohli, okay, from 2016 to 2016, 17. How will you do this? Forget about lead lag. Like, let's just think based on whatever you know so far. You can simply tell me as well. I
First,
don't need to write a SQL
first,
query.
first we'll calculate all the runs that are scored in 2016, and
How
then
many runs?
then
Sir? We have a row where I have 900 runs scored in 2016. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
Then
we'll just pull that data,
okay.
and after that we'll just pull 2017, how much run
Can you
he
give me
has
a SQL query?
To calculate percentage increase from one into another, subtract the original value from previous year.
Can you guys give me a SQL query? Forget about lead lag right now.
By the difference by the original value.
Just try to write. It's fine. I'm not expecting correct answers from you guys. At least give an attempt. Just try for 2-3 minutes. Think, can you write a SQL query for this? Anyone? Any idea how will you write a SQL query for this? Without lead lag. I don't want to use lead lag.
Yeah, so I think percentage increase can be calculated by subtracting the values of like
Yes.
2 years into 100 by the total number of
But
values of
how will
those
you
2 years.
calculate that? How will you calculate it in a SQL query? That's what I'm asking. Can you try to write? You're just 2 more minutes. Try to solve and
Sir,
tell me.
I guess the last time you showed the method in which we first sum the total runs, and then in the second select statement we sum the runs from the particular table and divide it by 100.
Try. Don't give theory. First try. Theory we will discuss. This will not give any answer. Select player name, comma season.
Sir, by mistakenly I did hit enter. I'm sorry.
Anyone, guys? Guys, I'm not pressurizing you. Sorry, I'm in chill mood. You can be frank. You can answer. Okay. So someone has mentioned with case statement. Okay. Try. I mean, as I mentioned, don't give me theory. Please try to write a SQL query. This is our 7th week. You should be able to write something at least. Okay, it's fine. कोई बात नहीं. चलो हम discuss करते. So basically, tell me this. Let's start discussing this. To calculate the percentage difference, what information you need? Tell me. For 𝗵𝗏 Kohli 2016-17, you want to score or get the percentage increase in runs, right? What all variable information do you need for this? Forget about the SQL. You need player 𝗵𝗏 Kohli first of all. Okay. What else you need?
Runs.
Season.
Runs,
2016
runs
runs.
we need.
2016
Let's say
runs.
if I get 2016 runs if I get 2017 runs, will you be able to calculate?
Mm.
Yes or no? If I give you this, will you be able to calculate the percentage change from 16 to 17?
Yes.
इसमें किसी को doubt है क्या? Like anyone who will not be able to create? Yes. So technically what I need to create, I need to get a table like this. Is it right? Now
Yes.
let's think, how can I get, I want runs of Virat Kohli in 2016. Runs are already there. I need to put in some filter, right? If I go to SQL query, now think this way. I'm going to write uh, the syntax. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. If I write down this, select uh, player underscore name, okay, then case, okay, or sum of case when player underscore name is equal to uh, Virat Kohli, for example, and season is equal to 2016. Okay, I don't even need sum. If I do case when player name is this and season this, then what should be the variable?
Runs.
Runs.
Runs. Okay. Else, what will I do?
2017 player. Like,
So then 2007, okay, 16.
we did not write any 17.
Yeah, so I'm coming. When this then runs, okay, and as runs underscore 2016. Okay, what will this case statement do?
It will show 16 2016 runs.
Okay, it will show to the 2016 runs, right?
Yes.
Can you get runs for 2017 now?
uh, by revising 2016 to 17.
Okay, what is the table name? Players, for
Players.
example, where let's say player underscore name is equal to this. Will this give me the right result? Right now the percentage will not be there, I agree,
But
but
you mentioned percentage, bro.
I'm telling percentage, it won't give right now. If I get this, how difficult it is to calculate percentage?
Uh,
Why I'm not getting anything? Select star from players.
sure.
So 2018. Sorry, let's say I want to compare 2016 to 18. Okay. So will this give me the result that I'm looking for? 2018. Why is it showing this? Select star from players. 2016 season 18. Oh, okay. This data is different actually. Oh, that's why it's for Virat Kohli. Let me check. Is there any other data? Okay, the data is little different. Let me see. But tell me, like if I use this, if suppose there was a row for Virat Kohli for 2018, I would have got value, right? I would have got value here if there was a variable, if there was a row for that. Agreed? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now, if you have these two, then can you calculate the percentage difference? What is the percentage difference? Guys, yes or no? If you have these two variables, suppose this was populated, can you get the percentage increase in runs from 2016 to 18?
Yes.
What you will do? You will do this minus this divided by
Yes.
this.
16.
Correct?
Mm.
So what actually we need to do? We just need to get a column where I can have the score by the player in the next season or whatever row. Right? This is what was the problem. We did using case when. Is this method clear to everyone? Anyone having any doubt in this one? Okay. Now comes the concept of lead and lag, because sometimes this becomes cumbersome. Like you can solve it using this method as well, but as like a lot of you were not able to think and visualize that how shall I do it. So here comes the concept of lead and lag. Okay. So what does lead do? Lead gives you the value present in the next row or the preceding row. Okay. I mean, it is not always that, like you can change it, but so for example, let's say for this row, I had the runs in 2016. Okay. If I can get the runs in 2017 in this row, I would be able to calculate, right? Just need to take the difference between two variables and divide by A. Correct? So if you see clearly, this 950 is the next row. If you sort this data, if you see 2016, 17, 18, so 950 is in the next row. Then 870 is the next row to this. 200, 218 is basically 870 is next to this, 950 is next to this, and similarly for 2018, this is one row prior, this is one row, two row prior, and for this is one row prior, right? So here comes the concept of, as I mentioned, lead. Lead means it gives you the information in the next row. Okay. Now it could be next immediate row. By default, it gives you the value in the next row. So for example, if I use lead on this particular row, it will give me the value in this particular row, but I can change that. Suppose I want to calculate this instead of this, then I can simply do lead variable name and I just pass 2. 2 means go to the second row from this. Okay. So that is something we can change. So let me show you this through example. So for example, let me open into function lead. Yeah. So this is the data. I actually created some other data. So select star from cricket. Now see very clearly. See, this is the for example, this is the window for. So in window function we create. So what is the syntax of window function? There were 3 parts of a window function syntax. Can someone tell me?
Window function and over part,
Function, then is over, and then
partition or
Partition by
and then order by.
order by.
These were the 3 things, right? So these things remain same. What we need to change in the lead lag, just the function we need to change. Okay. So suppose I want, let's say, select player name. I want to create a window for each player. Let's say this player, this player, this player. So what will I do? I'll say select player underscore name. Okay. Then suppose I want the value in the next row. So what I will do, I'll say lead. Okay. Okay. Now remember, when we were using rank, there, even if we were mentioning blank, it was working. But in lead, it will not work. Can you tell me why?
Because then it will not understand the value, like which
You not
value.
understand which value you want next, like whether you want runs, you want wickets, you want points, or what. Ranking you can create, because in ranking what we used to do, we used to do rank over partition by and let's say order by. So based on order by, it could create a rank, right? Whatever variable you select. But in lead, the next value could be runs, could be wickets, could be integers, could be like a lot of variables which you. So you need to explicitly provide which value you want. I want lead of runs. Okay. Now, if you don't provide any value after this, it will assume the next row. So I'm right now just doing that. We will try to change the values as well. I say over. Okay. Now starts partition by. So what is the partition? What is the window here?
Player name.
Player name, right? Because we are calculating for each player name separately. Player underscore name. Order by. What should be the order by?
Runs.
Season.
Runs or
Runs.
Season.
Runs.
Season.
think I want to compare runs scored across various seasons. It should be season, not runs. Ideally, you can put runs as well, but logically think, right? I want to compare 2016 runs with 2017 with 2018, right? So what technically I need to do? I need to sort them based on season, not runs. Okay. So I will say season ascending or descending.
Ascending.
Ascending or descending. We want from 16 to 18. So will it be ascending or descending?
Ascending.
Ascending, right? So you will say as now. So this is the window function created. Now you will say this is, let's say, next season underscore runs. Okay. From cricket. Okay. Let's run this. So what do you see? Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, MS Dhoni, right? All windows are created. Okay. Let me also get the season. Okay. Season, comma, runs. Now you'll see more clearly. For example, if you see Hardik Pandya, now see and evaluate. For 2020, Hardik Pandya's run was 500, and for 2021, his runs were 550. Now I can see his next runs in my original first row only. Correct. Similarly, 600, which is present here, I can see at this particular part, right? So I'm seeing this part moving here, and this part moving here. Tell me why this is null. Can someone tell me?
Because there is no next value in the original table.
Yeah. For Hardik Pandya, 2022 is the last row. So after that, because there is no value, so it is taking as null because it is not present in the database. Is it clear? Yeah, sure. You can sleep. It's fine. You can watch the recording later on. So if anyone else is feeling sleepy, feel free to sleep. You can watch the recording. So you get now similarly for this player, Jasprit Bumrah, also you see this is 1320. So now it is going there. Now it is going there. Okay. Does this make sense?
So Satvik, next value means what you are saying is in 2020 it is displaying next season runs,
The
right?
value
So
in the next row. The value in the next row will come.
okay, next row will come. Okay, understand.
Okay.
No.
Now suppose I wanted to calculate what is the percentage change in runs of Hardik Pandya from 2020 to 2021. Right? You have the runs in 2020, correct? And you have the runs in 2021. Now you just need to take the difference. So see, we don't need to use case when and all that I showed. We can simply take a difference between these two variables now, and you will be fine with it. Is it clear? So how will you do basically? So let's say you say this is next season runs. Now you will simply say this minus what was the original variable? Runs. Okay, this divide by runs, and 100 into, so you'll multiply this by 100. Sorry, I need to remove this as next season runs. Okay, just a second.
That 100 will come on.
Yeah. So lead of runs over partition by order by season minus runs. What is the variable name? It is runs, right? Divide by runs, and so if it's just 200. So this is 10%. Okay, I have not shown decimal. So if you see, this is percent. So 100 multiplied means 10% increase, 9% increase. Okay, this is a 50% decrease. If you see clearly, from 500 to 550, how much is the increase? 50, right? So it is a 10%. From 550 to 600, it's 50 divided by 550, so 9%, right? And then from 30 it dropped to 15, means 50% drop. Correct. So that is the percentage change that we are talking about. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone any doubt in the concept of lead? Okay.
Hello, Satvik. First lead, first the query the lead ones we have, right? It will just making another column where having a next season scoring.
Yes. It is creating a new column where you are putting this value. The value present in the next row. You are passing it on there.
Okay.
This is very, very important. I'm telling you, when you will do cumulative sales, when you will do how many people, for example, from season, like what is this is very handy when you have to calculate percentage changes over seasons, or like similar kind of questions. You will see a lot of questions on lead and lag. So you need to understand what lead does. Lead basically tells you the information present in the coming rows, and lag gives you the information in the previous rows. For example, suppose I would have done here, instead of, so lead I have taken, right? Suppose I use lag here. So what I want, that one gave me next season run. Suppose I also want previous season runs. Let's say for 550, the next season run is 600. What is the previous season run for 550?
500.
500, right? So for that you will use lag. You'll say lag runs over this, over, you'll say previous. Okay, now when you run this, yeah, I have to do this. Now see, analyze this data. See this data. For Hardik Pandey in 2020, next season is not there. Sorry, previous season is not there. So previous season is null, but next season is 550. For Hardik Pandey in 2021, the previous season is 500. So previous season is coming here, and next season is coming here. For a 600, there is no next row. So the lead will give you null. Otherwise, you will get 550. That is the previous value. Same for Jasprit Bumrah as well. Same for MS Dhoni. Can you guys please try this query on your system and tell me if you understand? Try out this query and in your system, then we will discuss further. Run one by one. First run lead, then compare the values. Try to see which values you are getting. Then run lag, then see which values are getting. Okay. Then think, can we calculate percentage change? So try out this query now.
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Where is the data? I mean,
Data is,
not-
if you go to the say, drive, I have uploaded. This is lead lag. I'll put in the chat box as well if it comes.
it is only showing class 12 window function.
Uh, if you go to art of, haven't I shared this drive with you?
No,
I thought I shared. Okay, anyways, I'm sharing right now.
But sir, we do have the cricket data set.
Yeah,
we
I
have.
would have shared in the I was thinking I did share, but anyways, I mean, you can just use this one. I'm pinning this. Okay, I'm just pinning this message. You can check from there. So once you open this drive, go to this data PDF, and it is present in the last data that is lead lag. You will find it there. SQL questions workshop.
No, sir. Actually, the data, I guess so. You did created this cricket table before, but that's a different data. And right now, what we have used here is a different. So yeah.
Okay, anyways, you use the one I shared. Are you guys able to solve this? Shall we move ahead? Like, are you guys able to create these or not? Tell me. Is everyone done? Please confirm. Or if you're facing problem. What is the problem that you're facing?
No, I was writing a query. Can you share again?
Query, I told you, try to write on your own as well. This is the query.
Done.
What about others? I mean, understand then only write. I mean, otherwise the result to same ही आएगा if you just copy this query. I just want to ensure, do you guys understand now the difference between lead and lag? That's what my question is. What about others? Only 3 people have solved this. 5. I need at least 8 or 9 replies. Either yes or no, or you guys are feeling sleepy. क्या बाकी से नहीं हो रहा? Please tell me. If you're not able to understand, I will explain. Don't worry. I just want to ensure, like, इतना time नहीं लगना चाहिए. If it is taking means you didn't understand. Tell me, guys. Only 5 people have confirmed me. And there are, how many people on the call? There are 16, 17 people. No, sorry. At least 12 people are there on call. So I need at least 3, 4 more confirmations. Guys, at least respond. I mean, yes, no, maybe. Tell me at least that. Am I not audible? Am I not audible?
So you're audible. So just wait.
Audible.
It's audible.
Why are people not replying? I want to know. At least tell me if you either you are able to solve or you are not able to solve. There can only be 2 possibilities, right? So which one are you in right now? Yes or no? What about others, guys? Please interact. Otherwise, there is no point of waking up in morning and doing a live class. You can watch recording as well if you just want to listen. And this is not a podcast, right? Okay. Anyways, so I don't know why others are not replying. I mean, it's fine. It's their call. Still, if someone has any doubt, I can answer right now. But after once I move ahead, then I will not come back. Okay. So we saw the lead and lag. Now there are 2 problems here. 2 things we need to address. First is, what if I don't want the immediate next row? Right? Suppose, let's say for 𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀, I want to compare between first and third row, or maybe I want 4th row, something like that. So, okay, it's fine. If you have system issue, then it's no problem. So what we do here, that we take the lead statement. Okay, and from cricket. Suppose we have this. Now, so far we were getting player season runs, player name, season runs, and we were getting this. Now, what we were getting for 500, we were getting the next. Suppose we want 600 here. Instead of 550, we want 600 here. So what we can do, there is a offset value. This is called offset. You have studied as well, right? Offset. You just pass the offset value, right? By default, it is 1. So 1 means the next row. If you just change it to 2, it will give you the value in the second column, in the second row. So now see, for Hardik Pandya, you're getting 600, which is the second value here. Okay. Suppose you want third. Now third will not come because this is 1, 2. So if you see, wait a second, 2. Okay. So this is 1. This is, sorry, this is offset 0. This is 1. This is 2. Okay. So by default, the offset value is 0, right? And once you do 1, what it will give you? It will give you the next row. Okay. That is by default, for example. Now, once you do 2, what is it going to give you? The next row after that. Okay. And so on, you can keep on doing. Same on with lag. So whether you use 1 or you use just skip it, right? It's fine. It will give you the same result. And once you want 2, you can want 3, you can want 4, and you can want anything. Okay. So that is the concept. So we studied about lead lag. Then we studied about the offset of the value. The next thing, we saw null here, right? At times that, okay, null is coming. What if I just want to display something else? I don't want to display null. I want to say not available instead of null. So what will I do? That so there are, in lead, there are 3 values. It contains 3 parameters. So lead, it contains the variable name. Okay. The first is variable name. Second is offset value. And third is value, if you want, like by default value, or if you want to change some value, if in place instead of null. Basically, you provide it here instead of null. Okay. So what you do, suppose you want to change something, that default value should not take null. You want to replace it. You will say that, okay, let's say I want the next value in the next row, and in place of null, I will want to display and not available. Okay. Now when I run this, input syntax, say for type integer. Okay, does it take integer? I need to convert it. Okay. Anyways, so I can give 0 as well. Let me check if it's 0. I think it depending upon the database, because I have seen no NA as well. I think it was maybe Snowflake that uses some other SQL server. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, you can change. By it's showing for Postgres, it's showing it takes only integer. It's not taking a character. Can you check in MySQL as well if it takes a character? Because in Postgres, it's not taking. Yeah. In Postgres, it is taking only integer. So suppose I want to say 0. So it is giving me the value 0. Instead of null, I'm getting 0. So
Does it not depend on the data type of the column?
oh yeah, that is also the scene. I think that could also be the scene, because this is, because null, when we say null is not integer, not character, right? Yep. That I think that is a scene. Sorry. Yep.
Sir, but in MySQL, it's not even taking integer or a string. It's just like that.
Is this query not working in MySQL?
No, the query is working. I'm talking about the replacement of null. No, it's not even taking.
What is it showing?
It's just showing the null. Like I tried to give it a string, and also
string it will not take, because the variable is integer, because we have defined next season runs to be integer, so it cannot take a character variable, right? So it has to take an integer value only. So can you try these three things in your systems? Lead lag you did, try offset and try default. Try to change the default and let me know if you guys are able to solve this. Yeah, I mean, there is no constraint of integer or character, but I forgot that runs is a numeric, right? So it cannot take character. So it will follow the data type of that particular column.
Sir, no, it's sorry. It is also taking a string. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I did forgot to put a converted comma in the next
Is it
line.
taking for a numerical value? Is it taking a string?
Yes, it is taking a
Yeah,
string.
that's why, I mean, because I did something. I remember in Snowflake there it was taking Snowflake. I think maybe it takes MySQL. So yeah, depending upon your main thing is you can change it, right? It's up to you how you want to display it. Depending upon your database, you can change it. So there are three values. First is variable, second is offset, and third is the default value that you want to change. Default value. So you can change it as per your convenience.
And default value we can take as a string in MySQL.
Yeah, he's saying in MySQL it's showing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, then I have a question and a confusion. So this default value that we produce for the Windows function, especially for the lead and lag, is different when compared to that not null value that we set in default by creating a table.
I didn't get your question.
So while creating a particular table, if we create a new table and if we are just describing that if null by default, we are producing any value while creating a table I'm talking about. So that is different and this is different.
Null is null. Null has no like category.
No. The thing is, like, I'm talking while creating a new table, when we like by default produce a value no for like if there is a null.
It is like that only. By default, you're making it null. By default, it is coming to be null if I don't provide anything. And instead of null, I can change it. That's what I'm saying. If I run it, it is showing me null by default, just like we use in the create table command.
Hello, Satvik.
Yeah.
There is error coming in. I mean, not an error, but something coming that in previous my Postgres SQL, I made a players table and it taking that data instead of taking cricket. I have changed the name also
Are you
and
using
showing
the
me null
updated
null.
table name? If you are using updated table name, there why will there be a problem?
I mean, I don't know. By I am checking that all the tables columns all are same. I mean, the runs are same. 487, it was showing Hardik Pandya score in players table and same showing in the
What is the problem?
cricket also.
I'm not cutting your question.
एक्चुअली मैं एक्चुअली वो जो मैंने क्वेरी लिखी है उसमें मतलब नल नल दिखा रहा है और वो प्रीवियस टेबल जैसे मैंने प्लेयर वाली ली थी उसका वो डेटा शो कर रहा है.
आप SQL को आप रिस्टार्ट करके देखो, it will work. Just try out this query. I mean, start your SQL database and then run it again. So by default, see, when we have not mentioned anything, by default it is null. Remember, okay? Even if you don't use it, by default it is null. Now you can change this null to, let's say, 0, 1, whatever you want to do. Okay. Is it clear, everyone? Lead lag. So I'm giving you a question. For each player, calculate the percentage change in runs from first season to last season. So I'm putting this question in the chat box. For each player, there are 3 seasons, right? I want to calculate the percentage change in runs from first season to the last season. Please try this, write down the SQL query and share with me. What does BRB mean, by the way? I really don't know. I've heard it like lot of places.
Be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It's fine. Are you guys finding it little boring or like what is happening? Just want to know. Like this
No,
is the
we are following you, Satvik.
okay. Try to solve this question. See, these are very standard interview questions. What I'm teaching you right now. This is a very famous interview question with this one. You have to calculate percentage change. And there is some like we are dealing transactions. You can be given any other case study which is similar to this. Okay, like we are doing runs, right? There can be transactions or there can be digital purchases and like a lot of things can be there. So we did a similar question a few minutes back only. Just think like that. How will you do this? For each player, there are 3 seasons. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The reason is that this table which you're using for cricket is incorrect. This is some other table. Ashish, do you hear me? The table you are using is not the correct one.
Oh,
The cricket table is this. It has only Virat Kohli Indian players. It does not contain 𝗵𝗿𝗱.
okay, I will recheck.
I'm just pasting it here. The complete data will not go, but I'll still try. Whatever goes, I will send. Yeah, so he has shared the link. Yeah, use this link. Go to the drive. When you open the file, the last in the SQL workshop, the last table which is present, you just have to create this one. What about others? Are you guys able to solve the question? I need your query. For each player, calculate the percentage change in runs from season 1, from first season to last season. There are 3 seasons for each player. I can give you this much hint that two people have given me the query. What about others? Three people. I need 5, 6 answers. Do you guys want explanation for this question or not? Ideally you should not, but let me know if you guys want explanation for what is the problem you guys are facing. Let me give you a hint. We just did this question, previous one, the percentage change. It is exactly the same question. Some basic change is required. That's it. Okay, I see. Yes, same 4, 5 people are replying. What about others? Okay, I understand for one system is not working, it's fine. What about others? Is system not working for everyone? देखो यार, दो चीजें होती हैं, या तो हमको समझ में आ
How
रहा है
to
या नहीं.
get the last season like here?
I gave you a hint. There are 3 seasons for each player. Okay. For Hardik Pandya, how many seasons are there? Tell me. 3 seasons?
See,
First season you have the runs. You have to get this runs for the last season. Which row
okay,
is this from the top?
third,
Third means
second, yeah,
lead of what?
after what 2 rows you will get it.
Lead of 2, right?
Yeah.
If you use lead of 2, you will get the runs after 2 seasons.
Okay. Okay. I was getting confused. Like if we have 3 or 5 rows or 6
No,
rows
I
in that.
told in this data we have only 3 seasons per player.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
So for this data, even 2 will work. For more, we will study. It's fine. For this data, try to solve this one. Okay, let's do the last question on lead and lag. Okay, after that we will go for a break. So the question is, find the player with highest increment. Wait a second. In any 2 consecutive season. Read the question properly. Find the player with the highest increment in between any 2 consecutive seasons. Between any 2 consecutive seasons. How will you, this is also very common interview question. So how will you do this? Think first of all, let's discuss how will you do this. Tell me, forget about the query. Tell me how will you do this? Player with the highest increment between 2 seasons. Tell me what is being asked in the question. First of all, let's discuss that. What are we asking? Find the player with the highest increment between 2 consecutive seasons. What does it mean? Can someone explain me the definition of the meaning of this question?
Initially, we'll calculate the consecutive seasons, like the difference between the consecutive seasons and for each
Yes,
player, and then find out the max within those players.
exactly. So what we are going to do here, I'm telling you the concept, then you write down the SQL query. Okay, I'm telling you the logic. If you see, let's talk about any player. Let's talk about, for example, Ravindra Jadeja. Let's say we talk about this particular player. So if you see, he has 3 consecutive seasons, 19, 20, 21. And for each season, he will have some increment. Let's say here he went from 200 to 220. So how much increment is this? This is 10%. What increment is this? 220 to 240. 20 divided by 220 means 1 by 11. 1 by 11 is what? 9%. Okay. So this is 9%. For season 21 to 22, there is no data, right? So there will be no, you can say this is nothing or null or 0% you can show. So for Ravindra Jadeja, what is the maximum increase in the maximum percentage increase between any 2 consecutive seasons?
10%.
10% for Ravindra Jadeja, correct?
Hmm.
Similarly, yeah, please, someone was saying anything. Okay. Similarly, for let's say Jasprit Bumrah as well, you will have something. Agreed? So from 20 to 30 means, what is 20 to 30? Means 50% increment. Okay. 30 to 15 means decrement by minus 50%. So this is 0. So what is the maximum percentage increase in runs for Jasprit Bumrah? It is how much? How much, guys?
50.
50%. Right. Similarly, each player will have a maximum. Right. This will also have some maximum. This will also have some maximum. Then we have to find the maximum of all these. So first we have to find the maximum in this window, and then after that we have to find the maximum among the others. Is the question clear? Let's read the question once again. Let's now tell me if you understand. Read once again. Find the player with the highest increment between 2 consecutive seasons. Is it clear?
Yes.
Try to solve this. It looks difficult, but it is not. Trust me. I have explained you the concept. Now you should be able to write something. I'm not asking complete query. It's good if you write the complete query, but try to write something. After this, we will have a break.
Sir, I got the person increment as how you showed, but then in that we have to find the highest, right?
Yes. The person who has the maximum increment between any 2 consecutive sequences. So what is the step 1? Step 1 will be to calculate percentage increment in runs for each player. Correct? That's what you need to do. And what is step 2? Find the player with max increment. That's all you need to do. Anyone who is able to solve? हाँ जी, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है किसी को? Okay, chalo, let's start solving it. Okay, now look at the screen. Concept, you know, I told the concept, right? First tell me, can you guys give me a code to calculate the percentage increment in runs for each player? इतना मुझे दे दो at least.
Yes, yes.
इतनी, please help me this much. Then I will tell you. Send me in chat. So this is the code, okay? तो step 1 हो गया मेरा, ये इतना clear है सबको, right? So whatever player name, runs, season, lead over partition by player name, order by season. Okay, this perfect.
सर सिर्फ मैंने राउंड नहीं किया है, आई एम सॉरी.
राउंड को छोड़ो, कोई बात नहीं, राउंड इट्स फाइन, वो हम बाद में कर लेंगे. So we got some percentage, right? I can do one more thing. Instead of null, what can I do? I can just say, suppose null की जगह 0 कर दो. Okay, 1,0. If I do this, I will get everything will be -100 basically. So it's fine with me because I need the maximum, not the minimum, right? So now what I want is I want the player with the maximum percentage increment, correct? Now tell me what is the problem with getting this? Can't you get the maximum value in this table? If you just write down this query, select player underscore name from this table, okay, from this table, where percent underscore increment is equal to, एक सब क्वेरी लिख दो. सब क्वेरी भी छोड़ो, सब क्वेरी तो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल. सेलेक्ट मैक्स परसेंट अंडरस्कोर इंक्रीमेंट फ्रॉम cricket. Tell me, will this query give me result?
Yes.
No. Why? Tell me why this is incorrect, na? It will be not from cricket. It will be from
player wise तो नहीं ले रहा है maximum.
You have to give aliases ना for the
let's say I call it SB. Okay.
SB, yeah.
अभी भी नहीं आएगा ना, वो बना नहीं है. See, you have to create this table first. So I think you need to pass this as percent increment from cricket. So what I will do from this. So now it will give me the player. Okay, one method is this one. This might sound a little complicated, but if you logically, if you see, you created this table, everyone would have been created this. I'm just using a subquery where percentage is equal to max of percentage from this table. Okay, but forget this thing. Let's say I don't want to do using this method. Is there a better and easy approach? From cricket. Let's say I want to follow a little bit easy approach. I want to player with the maximum thing. Guys, you are
We'll order by percentage increment.
exactly यार, मेरे को डरा दिया आप लोगों ने. Order by नहीं use कर सकते. Just use order by.
Oh sir, I did use order.
Percentage increment descending Okay, let's see. अब देखो, अब 50 वाला एक ही वैल्यू, इज देयर एनी डुप्लीकेट हियर? नहीं ना, डुप्लीकेट नहीं है तो हम सिंपल लिमिट 1 लगा के भी कर सकते हैं. I got the player name with the maximum percentage increment, right? अगर डुप्लीकेट होता तो then I would have used sub query. Is it clear, guys? क्या यार,
Yes.
इसका सेकंड पार्ट इतना इजी था यार. आप
But
लोग
here we need 2 consecutive seasons, na? Like season should be
season should be no, between 2 consecutive seasons. What is 2 consecutive seasons? It means 2016 to 2017. This is
Back to back
consecutive.
yeah. Anyway, like lead NL will give because we
Lead
have
will be
given
1 only. Lead will not be 2.
Yes.
It's not alternate. Consecutive means 1 after 1.
Yes. Got it.
Yeah. So is this clear to everyone? Yeah, CT also you can use. Rank is also fine. That is also fine. Just that I haven't taught CT, so I'm not going through that. But yeah, Sakshi, your logic is also correct. So yeah, this was pretty major part you guys did. जो आप basic थे वही भूल गए थे. How to get the. So this is how questions are given. I mean, it's sometimes you might think it's very complicated. Actually, it's not, right? So now let's have a break. We will study the remaining couple. There are 3-4 more functions remaining. We'll cover them after the session. Aniket, you can skip it for now. That is CTE. CT I haven't taught yet. You can, check with her.
Oh, okay. I thought CT we have done, so I was like, okay.
CT we'll cover it next week. You can maybe check with her after the class, but I will cover CT in next class. Okay. See, some people prefer to write by using CT. Some people prefer to write by using subqueries or sub functions. It's totally your choice. I am someone who do not use CT a lot. Okay, but you should know how to write a CT, because sometimes CT is more beneficial than writing. Not sometimes, CT is always more beneficial than writing subquery. So it's gradually start shifting from subquery to CT, because CT is more efficient way of coding. But yeah, you can learn it. So yeah, guys. So let's have a 10.
But in joins, I believe CT is more. When we have to join 2 or 3 tables, CT is more easy, I believe.
See, and that's what I'm saying. CT is more like a robust technique to write a code. I'm to say that I'm just saying that it's not mandatory to learn CT, but it is, if you learn, your SQL coding will go very like high. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know CT. Even then they survive. But yeah, if you know CT, like your coding will improve significantly, because a lot of complex tasks like big codes you can write down them in simple lines. So CT is very helpful. So guys, let's have a, how much break you want? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? 10 minutes or 15 minutes? आज कोई रिप्लाई नहीं कर रहा, क्या हो गया? Okay, let's have, if you're not giving me option, let's have a 10-minute break. So this is 8:13 a.m. Sorry, I mean PM. What's the time in India? It's 8:43, right? So let's resume at
Yes.
8:55 a.m. Then we will cover the remaining functions. We have rows between, entile, and rows rank between, sorry, range between, and then the cumulative thing we will study. See, lead and lag have a lot of applications. We just did a few questions. The concept is this only. Lead gives you the rows in the next, the value in the next row. Lag gives you the value in the previous rows. Now it's up to you how you think that how you can apply this concept. There is no more concept in lead and lag than I taught. Now it's just up to you how to decide which one to use and where to use.
Hello, Satvik.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you explain me this query? I mean, I'm not able to understand. I tried to understand by myself, but I'm not able.
Which
I'm
query
pasting the query.
Which query you're
I'm
not able to
pasting the query.
Okay. This one.
Yeah, I was a little delay and that.
What you're not understanding in this?
I mean, how that percentage we are calculating this? I mean, this we are half of them, but how this runs coming here? I mean,
Which runs?
The minus runs and slash run as increase.
This runs. Did you check the table cricket?
Yes,
This runs is already present in the table.
okay. So it is calculating the old runs of. I mean, just like Virat Kohli
We are
have a
just
RCB.
calculating a new variable. Okay. Next season runs. Now so if you know the next season runs, how to calculate the percentage change? If you know previous season run and if you know the next season run, suppose you know 2015 ke runs and 2016 ke runs, how will you calculate the percentage change?
I mean, 2016 16 minus 15 and divided by 15.
यही होगा ना, multiplied by 100.
Yes.
Now look at the query. What is this? Next season run. Okay.
Next season run.
What is this? Current season run, which is present. It is already present in the table.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if you take the difference, what is this? Next season run. We are just using, instead of alias, we are using the whole query.
Yes.
Next season runs minus runs divided by runs. What will it give?
I mean, increasing percentage.
So
So
that's
I mean, this runs is taking the next season. I mean that it's taking next runs. I mean from 900 to 950. This run is taking 950 runs. I
you
mean,
have
what
used
exactly
you have used 2 here. What does 2 mean?
Shift 2 jump.
So will it take for 900? What will it will take 950 or 870?
870.
So what is it doing? Tell me, what is this calculation? For Virat Kohli, what is this number?
It is taking 870.
Yes.
Minus
for this row, tell me. For every row, it will be different. What will be for this row? Tell me.
It is taking for this row.
Yeah. What will this code do for this row?
Jump, and it's taking a 870.
870, correct?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Let's do one thing. Let's just run this. Let's see what comes. For Hardik Pandya, what do you see as next season runs here? Current season runs is 500. What is the run in 2021 and 22? 21 में 550 है, 22 में 600 है. Which season did we want? Then immediate next season or next to next season?
Next to next season.
So I got the next to next season run here.
Yes.
Now, if you have got these two variables, can you calculate the percentage change?
Yes.
How will you do?
by taking a next season run minusing the runs.
Okay.
Oh,
This minus
and
this divided by what?
divided by runs.
So what are we doing here? Tell me. What does this do?
It's jumping from the current season to next season.
So what is this doing? ये क्या चीज है मुझे बताओ? नहीं समझ में आ रहा?
नहीं, I mean, I'm getting here. What is the run in this column? Runs is coming. I mean, run क्या आ रहा है? 500, 600 या 550. I mean, क्या ले रहा है? I'm not able to catching that thing.
सीक्वल कैसे एग्जीक्यूट होती है?
Row by row.
रो बाय रो. तो ये क्वेरी पहले फर्स्ट रो के लिए रन होगी, फिर सेकंड रो के लिए, फिर थर्ड रो के लिए, एंड सो ऑन. ओके. फॉर फर्स्ट रो
Okay.
टेल मी इसकी वैल्यू क्या होगी?
फर्स्ट रो की वैल्यू, इसकी वैल्यू होगी 600.
600. रन्स की वैल्यू क्या है फॉर फर्स्ट रो?
500.
माइनस 500. ठीक है. 100 इंटू दिस डिवाइड बाई में क्या लिखा हुआ है?
Runs 500.
तो क्या आएगा? 500. दिस इज द वैल्यू फॉर द
Okay.
फर्स्ट रो. व्हाट इज द वैल्यू फॉर
Okay, then
सेकंड रो? नॉट टेल मी. अब सेकंड रो के लिए क्या आएगा?
second row के लिए
थिंक दिस कोड एंड टेल मी व्हाट विल कम फॉर सेकंड रो.
here it will come a null because next
yes,
value
here
तो
it
है
will
ही
come a
नहीं.
null because वैल्यू नहीं है आफ्टर सेकंड. तो यहाँ पे नल है. माइनस में क्या आएगा?
माइनस में 550.
550 डिवाइड बाई
ओ 550.
550. तो हर रो के लिए यही हो रहा है.
ओके ओके, आई थॉट दैट कि मतलब मैं कंफ्यूज ये हुआ था कि हार्दिक पांड्या के सारे टोटल रन करके फिर वो कर रहा है.
नहीं नहीं नहीं. सपोज मैंने जसप्रीत बुमराह ले लिया ये वाला, या कोई और बेटर ले लेते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल जिसमें वैल्यू है. लेट्स से मैंने जडेजा को ले लिया. ठीक है. अब टेल मी जडेजा के लिए क्या वैल्यू आएगी इस रो के लिए? और 10th रो क्या परसेंटेज आएगा?
इसके लिए
100. पहले तो 100 बताओ.
100
मल्टीप्लाइड बाई यस
multiplied by 240
240
minus 200
200
divided by 200.
बस यही है. ऐसे यही कैलकुलेशन हर रो के लिए बनेगी. जहां पे नल है वहां पे नल आ जाएगा. वेयर यू सी एनी नल, उन रोज के लिए नल आ जाएगा. बाकी रोज के लिए विल सी सम परसेंटेज.
ओके.
इज इट क्लियर?
यस.
अभी भी डाउट है? आपकी आवाज से लग रहा है. बताओ मुझे.
नहीं आई मीन,
अरे मैं पकड़ लेता हूँ. मैं इसमें ऑनलाइन बड़ा तेज हूँ. मेरे को बताओ क्या डाउट है.
नहीं अब हो गया क्लियर. पर आई मीन आज मतलब लीड एंड लैग में आई एम गेटिंग लिटिल
क्या
I'm not
कंफ्यूजन
able
क्या
to-
बताओ. अभी क्लियर करते हैं. कंफ्यूजन क्या? टेल मी.
आई मीन कि मतलब क्वेरी जब अंदर सब क्वेरीज लिख रहे हैं मैं, आई एम नॉट एबल टू, क्योंकि मेरे काफी लैग भी हुआ है आज क्लास थोड़ी सी.
बताओ तो क्या. दो ही तो फंक्शन है.
I
एक
mean-
लीड एक लैग देगा. ठीक है. लीड क्या देता है?
a lead of next data,
और लैग क्या देता है?
previous data.
मुझे अगर इमीडिएट नेक्स्ट डेटा चाहिए तो क्या क्या यूज करूंगा? लीड कॉमा 1. मुझे अगर
Yes.
इस रो के लिए नेक्स्ट ये चाहिए तो मैं क्या यूज करूंगा? लीड कॉमा 1.
Yes.
अगर जस्ट पिछला चाहिए, इसके लिए मेरे को पिछला वाला चाहिए, व्हाट विल आई यूज?
Lag.
लैग कॉमा 1, राइट?
Yeah.
इफ आई वांट, लेट्स से आई एम एट रो 1, आई वांट रो 3, व्हाट विल आई यूज?
jump
by how many points? 1 2, तो लीड में क्या आ जाएगा?
2.
लीड 2.
2.
और सपोज मैं
Okay.
यहाँ पे हूँ, मेरे को ये चाहिए, तो क्या होगा?
2
लैग ऑफ 2.
lag of 2.
तो ये वैल्यू तो बाय डिफॉल्ट करंट रो की है. उस रो की वैल्यू भी एक नया कॉलम बनाना है मुझे, जहां पे मेरे को कुछ प्रीवियस किसी और रो की वैल्यू चाहिए, चाहे ये यहाँ चाहिए, चाहे ये यहाँ चाहिए, यहाँ चाहिए, ऐसे. देयर वी यूज लीड और लैग डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट आवर क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाट इज आवर रिक्वायरमेंट. बस इतना ही कॉन्सेप्ट है लीड और लैग का, नथिंग एल्स.
Okay.
नाउ टेल मी व्हाट डाउट यू हैव.
No, now I don't have any doubt. I need more practice.
You need more practice, yes. But concept इतना ही है. Now, depending upon the question, you need to determine आपको lead use करना है, आपको lag use करना है. अगर lead use करना है तो कितने gap का use करना है, right? These things you will see there. So this is the only decision point that you have to make. These two, that which function, whether to use lead or lag, and if I'm using lead or lag, then offset की value क्या होनी चाहिए? 1 2 3 4 5 जो भी रखनी है. Okay.
Okay.
Sorted. थोड़ा सा better हुआ, मतलब I'm not saying पूरा समझ में आ गया, but is it improved now, the logic?
Now it's better.
In this question, we are first multiplying by 100 and then dividing by runs. अगर हम ये other way round करें कि पहले divide करके multiply करें, answer same आएगा.
Divide क्या करना है बताओ?
Like this lead thing.
BODMAS कैसे काम करता है?
As in bracket then multiplication.
So पहले bracket खुलेगा, ये subtract होगा, फिर division होगा, फिर ये पूरा 100 से multiply होगा.
As in
Yeah, tell me.
नहीं, मैं कह रही हूँ इसको अगर पूरा ब्रैकेट में ले लें, क्योंकि मैं I was just trying but मेरा आंसर नहीं आ रहा था.
क्या किया आपने बताओ?
I'll just send it. Is it not the same thing?
Let me check the query, then I can tell. Clear name, runs, season. तो ये हुआ. Just a second. Let's check brackets. Here is. Now, if you think this, there is missing one bracket.
Okay.
See, ये जो है आपने, नहीं, okay, there is no missing bracket, I think. So this bracket means overall, okay. This is your initial internal value, correct? A minus B.
First ये lead वाला calculate करेगा, then it will divide by
calculate करेगा, okay. And वो run से subtract करेगा, फिर वो इस bracket के अंदर जो value है उसको ले लेगा, right? Then it will divide by runs and multiplied by 100. Logic तो मुझे सही लग रहा है. But you are getting 0. Okay, let's think. Season. Multiplied by 100. Lead of runs. Okay, let's use this.
यहीं पे 0 आ रहा है, तभी वो 0 आ रहा है.
Okay, देखते हैं, एक एक करके देखते हैं. So difference तो सही आ रहा है हमारा, right?
Difference सही आ रहा है.
Difference सही आ रहा है. Now, if this is giving me difference, मैं अगर इसको divide कर रहा हूँ run say. Okay. It is giving me क्योंकि ये इंटीजर डिफाइंड है ना, दैट इज द, अगर हम इसको डेसिमल कर दें, आई एम जस्ट थिंकिंग,
we can round the values to 2 decimal point, वहां से क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगी.
हाँ मैं वही सोच रहा हूँ कि सपोज ये है मेरा, लेट्स से दिस इज राउंड, ये पूरा हुआ कॉमा, लेट्स से मैंने 3 कर दिया फॉर एग्जांपल, will it give me, it is giving me 0 0 means
Zero ही आ रहा है.
not calculating, right? It is not taking the difference. Ideally see 50 by 500 to 10% होता है, तो there should be 0.1, so means there is some problem there. Let me just check it. यहाँ तक we were getting right, correct?
Yeah.
Getting right till this point. Problem is coming when we are dividing
by runs.
Oh, okay. ये हुआ, ठीक है, फिर additional bracket, and if I'm not using this bracket, then I will get it correct. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है यार? Just a second. Round. That's strange. नहीं, कुछ तो गलती हो रही है. Lead of this variable minus this variable. Okay. Just give me like 2 more minutes, guys. Then we will start. So this is coming to be right. Now, if I do this, divide by runs.
It should give me decimal values.
यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. Round of this. This is interesting. I think ये bracket से what is it is it bracket का कुछ logic है. I need to think.
Okay, बस ये मतलब मेरे को I was just trying to.
No, ideally we should know the reason. That's what even I am figuring out. What could be the reason? That this is a good problem to know basically. Let's see. This is giving me. Can someone think and tell that what can be the reason? That when we are taking brackets, we are getting a difference. The moment I divide it by runs, I'm not using any I was thinking if we are doing any aggregation, then it could mean something, but I'm just dividing it by runs. Let's say lead of runs over partition. Okay, let's save this query. We will solve this after that session. Okay, we'll fix this after session for sure.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So let's begin.
ChatGPT is giving this answer. Satwik.
What is it telling?
It's saying like cast run as a float and then into 100.
Cast as float and then into 100.
Yeah.
But why the value is 0? Even if it is not float, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's also becoming right. Like they're giving 0.
Okay, we'll check it after class. Let's continue the it's a good question. We'll figure it out. What's the scene? So let's see the. So now we are going to study 2 or 3 very important functions. These will cover the remaining part of window functions. Sorry, did someone say? Because we are doing no, but otherwise also we were getting values, right? We are doing integer division. Integer by integer it should give some decimal. That's what we are thinking. Let's see after the class. Anyways, so we have to discuss few more functions. That is, first of all, is entile. We're going to discuss, and then two very major concepts. One is rows between. You might have heard it somewhere. And then there is range between. Okay, so we are going to study these three topics, and these are very important, and we will explore them. And after this, like, window function will be over. So let's first of all study what does entile do. So entile, you can think it resembles with the with called percentile. Okay. Suppose you have a data. Remember, can someone tell me what is a percentile? Can someone tell me the meaning of percentile? Guys, किसी को percentile नहीं पता क्या? Just asking.
See, I know the method, but definition ka.
Just tell me the definition. What is the method of meaning
Like
of
we'll have the data, we'll rank it, and based out of that rank, we'll calculate like how much percentage. Like if somebody has got third rank.
Yeah, percentile means like Satvik, like whatever the marks is getting it out of whatever the number we have.
Yeah.
Those who get the highest number, that will convert it as 100 percentile, and below that, all that.
Percentile, yeah. So किसी ने कभी CAT exam दिया है? CAT, GRE, GMAT, any exam has anyone given? Okay. या आपने IIT वगैरह भी किसी ने दिया होगा, या like उसमें when you give all India ranking के साथ एक percentile आती है, right? Technically, what does percentile mean? Percentile means how many percentage of people are behind you. Okay.
Yes.
It means if you have 100 percentile, means everyone is behind you. You are the only one. Like 100 मतलब कभी 100 full नहीं होती, because for example, let's say there are 100 people. Okay, and if you are having a rank 1, means 99 people are behind you. So means 99 people, okay, out of 100. So it becomes 99 percentile. So now when there are 10 lakh, 100 lakh, suppose if there are 10 lakh people sitting, and you are the rank 1, so it means that 99999 divided by 1000, it means you will have 99.99 percentile. You practically, you can never have a 100 percentile, but we say that, okay, when you are the rank 1, you are 100 percentile. Okay, so what does it mean? That basically you split your data into various categories. So it is similar to rank. Just like in rank we give a integer, here we give a percentage. Okay, so for example, let us say you have a data. Okay, now when you say 20, suppose you want to create distribute this data into 4 buckets, that people who are having, let's say you have a column of salary. Okay, now you want to create a segmentation of customers based on salary, that people, suppose you want to create 2 buckets, that 2 buckets, one, like 50% people who are having I mean top 50% people will go in bucket A, less than below bottom 50% will go in bucket B. So what is going to happen? You're going to slice your data. Suppose there are 100 people in your data set. Okay, let's say there are 100 people. So you will split it. You'll say 50 यहाँ पे, 50 यहाँ पे. Okay, and you'll split this based on the salary, and you will say this is the top 50 percentile. Okay, percentile, and this is the bottom 50 percentile. Okay, so technically you have created 2 buckets for your data. Similarly, you can create as many buckets as you want. Suppose I ask you to create 5 buckets. So what will happen? what percentile values will you get when we create 5 percentile? So when we create 5 buckets, so first will be 0 to 20%. Okay. Then there will be 20 to 40%. Then there will be 60 to 80. Then there will be 80 to so 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 60 to 80, and then it will be 80 to 100. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So these many data sets are there. 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60. Sorry. Yeah. 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and 80 to 100. If I ask you to create 4 buckets, there will be a 25 percentile, there will be a 75 percentile, sorry, 50 percentile, there will be 75 percentile, and there will be 100 percentile. Correct? Any doubt in this concept? So now what is happening that when you use 𝗪𝗫, it splits your data into that many equal parts. Okay, so suppose you have created an 𝗪𝗫. So how does it work that you write down 𝗪𝗫, okay, and inside that you write down n, the value of n. Suppose you want to create 2 buckets, it will create value 1 and 2. Okay, so let's look at one of the data that we are having. For example, so we have this. Let me pick a data from here. So okay, let's say this is data select star from players. Okay, select star from players. So I have this runs, and there are like 25 people who have scored different runs. Now I want to create 2 buckets. One of people players who have scored higher runs, one who have scored low runs. So what will I do? I will say, let's say select player underscore name, comma runs, comma. Now, what is the format of a window function? Function. After that, over.
Function over.
Partition
by. Order by.
Okay. Now, tell me this. I write runs. Okay. Now the function is 𝗪𝗫. Okay. So I will say 𝗪𝗫, and in the bracket, suppose I wanted to split this across 2 data, two things, 2 buckets. Over. Now tell me this. I am calculating this across runs. So am I calculating it across the whole data, or I'm calculating for each player separately? Am I splitting the whole data into 2, or I'm splitting the rows for each player into 2? So in short, tell me, is partition by required here or not? Yes, no. Is partition by required or not?
No.
No, not required.
It's not required, right? So will they say order by? Is order by descending required or not? Ascending or descending?
No, I think.
If you say no, think logically. You're creating 2 buckets, okay, based on runs. Means high runs, low runs. So few people will fall in the high run category, few people will fall in the low runs category. So tell me, is the order by mandatory here or not?
Yes.
Yes, yes. No, then
If you don't use order by, how will you get the classification?
high runs and low run classification. Correct. Yeah.
Right? वरना क्या होगा, वो randomly कर देगा, how you will not get to know. So order by, either you do descending or you do ascending. It does not matter, because eventually 1 or 2 बनेंगे. तो high 1 बने या low 1 बने, that does not matter. वो we will see. So I will use descending. I can use ascending as well. It's up to me. Okay. From players. Okay, now let's see what does it give me. Sorry, I didn't use the player name. Okay, variable name, runs descending, right? तो अभी देखो, अभी क्या हो गया, I have these two buckets created. Now if you see, I had 25 rows, right? 25 का half कितना होता है? 12 और 13, right?
Yeah.
So if you see top 13 rows को उसने 1 दे दिया. Bucket 1 means these people are in the top 10, like they are top high scoring people, and remaining 12 को उसने क्या कर दिया, bottom 2 दे दिया. अभी इसने हाई लो नहीं बनाया, इसने बस what it has done, it has just created two flag, one and 2. Now how you can define, now we can define ourselves. So what we will do, select star case when, so let's say I this as let's say distribution. Okay, case when distribution is equal to 1, then you'll say high scoring, else low scoring. Okay, and as score flag, and this will be from this table. So see, I got high scoring, right? So Entile will only create flags for you. It's up to you how you want to mark them, as high scoring, low scoring, right? Similarly, what you can do, you can create 4 buckets as well. Suppose instead of 2, I want to create 4. So 4, what does 4 mean? 25 divided by 4 means 6. So after 6, you will see change. 6 or 7, you will see change. So see, this is 6, 7, then this is next 6, then this is 6, right? So there are 4 buckets. Now you can define, this is top 25 percentile. So this means 76 to 100 percentile. This is 50 to 75 percentile. This is 25 to 50 percentile. This is 0 to 25 percentile. Okay, is it clear, guys? So this is the entile function. If you want to split your data into various buckets, that's how you do it. That's all about this function that you need to know. Tell me if you have any doubt. All clear? Yeah, all clear. मैं आपसे मॉर्निंग क्लास नहीं लूंगा, मॉर्निंग क्लास में सारे एकदम लो एनर्जी होते हैं. So we are good with entile, right? Anyone any doubt? Shall I move to the next function? यार कोई बोल ही नहीं रहा. Anyways, it's fine. Either you guys are not understanding, or I don't know. Sorry. Okay, let's move to the next. So now we are going to discuss 2 more concepts. These are the last 2 concepts for today. One is rows between, and this is very, very important. Please pay your full attention here. This, otherwise you will never understand. Range between. These are the 2 concepts. These are very, very important. So whenever, for example, let's say we were discussing about this SQL table, right? We had 𝗵𝗏 Kohli, for example, and we had his runs. Suppose I want a variable of cumulative or running total of runs, so that it gives me below thing. that let's come here. Okay. So suppose I want to create a new column that is cumulative points. Suppose let's discuss about points. I say cumulative points for each player. What does cumulative mean? Can someone tell me?
Like rolling up values, the
Yeah.
points.
Adding
Cumulative.
most value
Yeah.
together.
Basically, rolling up things. So what will happen in cumulative? Suppose these are the rows for you. Okay. Or let's say. So if I say I have to create a variable cumulative points over the season. So in 2016, I had 220, 100 points, correct? So what will happen in 2017 for Virat Kohli? What will be the cumulative points? It will be the sum of these two, or you can
1300.
these two, the cumulative points so far and the cumulative. So basically, number of rows covered till now. So what is it? 2200 plus 2100, right? It will become 4300. And what is the value in 2018? Plus 2000, that is 6300, correct? And similarly for other players as well. So what is happening? The value will keep on summing as we move down the window, correct? So so this is the window that we created, and as we are moving down the window, the values are getting added up, added up, added up. This is called running total. You can say cumulative total. Like there are different words for them. So can someone tell me how will we do it based on whatever information you know so far?
Using sum.
Okay, let's do sum. If I do a sum for Virat Kohli, what will happen? It will give me the whole sum of the window. Is it right? But do I want the whole sum of window, or I want few rows only for each row? Let's say for first row, do I want the sum of whole window? For first row, do I want the sum of whole window? Yes or no?
No,
No. For second row, do I want the sum of whole window?
no,
No. For third row, do I want the sum of whole window?
no.
Yes. So if you see, if I just apply sum, sum over like whatever we write, it will not give me the right answer. सिग्मा कैसे लगाएंगे बताओ? How will we use sigma here?
नहीं कैसे लगाएंगे आई एम नॉट श्योर मींस
Plug
आई
in.
वाज टेलिंग द कांसेप्ट बट यहाँ पे कैसे लगाना है नहीं आई एम नॉट श्योर
So here comes the concept of rows between and range between. Okay. First of all, remember whenever you are doing whenever you are doing a window function questions, let's come to this dynamic ranges. Okay. So let's say we have this data. Okay, let's do a discussion on this data. So first of all, we have a few salesperson. So I'm just highlighting them here. So let's say this is Priya, this is Rahul, and there are different people. Guys, do please listen to this concept very carefully. This is very important. ये समझ में आ गया तो this is very easy. Okay, so let's say this is the okay. If you see Priya, Rahul, they are repeating once again, it's fine. So abhi I'm just understanding, let's, because data is not sorted, but once we sort the data, we will get सबको एक साथ. Okay, so let me do one thing. First of all, let me sort it so that it's more clear. So this data, let me first sort it. Okay, so this is, let me sort it based on customer name. Okay, yeah, so is data sorting name A to Z. Okay, so let's say these are the people. Okay, so now let's discuss this. Now, so far, for example, as I mentioned, when we say window function, right? Window function may so far when we use sum, or when we say average, or when we say rank, for example, या हमने जब भी for example lead or lag use किया, whenever we use lead or lag, one thing was common, if you notice, was that I was considering the whole window in for every case. Let's say I have to calculate rank of for example, I have to get top 3 transaction for each person, right? So what will happen in top 3 transaction for each person? For each person, I will sort the data of that particular person and I will get the top 3, right? What does it mean? I am considering the whole window of that person and then I'm fetching the top 3 here as well, here as well, here as well. But if you notice, when we do cumulative thing, suppose we are doing cumulative sale amount for Karan. Now what is happening? Let's say I'm starting from this, okay, this point. On the day 1, for example, transaction date day 1, if you see, I only want row 1, agreed? For row 2, I need data till here. For row 3, I need data till here. For row 4, I need data till here. And for row 5, I need data till here. And for row 6, I need data till here. What do I mean by I need data till here? I need to sum the data till here for the first row, for second row here, for third itne ke liye, fourth ke liye itna, fifth ke liye itna, sixth ke liye. So this window is dynamic for me. This is very important. So window that I am going to select is dynamic here. In all the questions that we covered so far, the window was static. Okay, and based on that static window, we were selecting something. But here, there are two things. First of all, create window for each of the person, and within each person, the window has to be dynamic. Is this much concept clear to everyone? That what is the problem statement? And what is the difference? Is this much clear before I tell you the solution for this?
Yes.
Okay. So we study two concept. One concept is of rows between and another concept is of range between. First of all, let us study about rows between. What does rows between do? Okay. So whenever you write down your window function, you need to specify an additional syntax. You need to add one more syntax there. By default, if you don't mention anything, it will consider the whole window. But we don't want whole window. Okay. So now let's see for this cumulative. What is happening? If you notice properly, for every day, the top remains same. It is every day, like for the windows starting from here every time, right? It is starting from here every time, but it is getting increased as we move ahead. Correct? So if you see, the top part is fixed and the bottom part is changing of all the windows. Is it right?
Yes.
Now think like this. There's a concept of current row. Current row means, remember, SQL executes row by row. Guys, yes or no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Just a second. Yeah, so I just mentioned rows between in SQL, right? We are doing this. So now what is happening is, you're starting from here, and so there's a concept of current row. So for example, when I am at this row, tell me, this is my current row. Agreed?
Yes.
And for this current row, I need sum from top to current row. What does this mean? That for present, when I'm calculating cumulative sum, the range of windows should be between your current row and the top row. Okay, the topmost, which was present for each window. Agreed? So let me tell you the syntax first of all, then we will study this. So the syntax is, so there are three things. One is current row. You need to, so what does current row mean? The row which you are executing right now. Okay. One is row preceding. What does it mean? Then the row number before this. For example, I am at current row, so how many rows before this? Okay. And then is rows following. So if I am at this point, let's say I say 2 rows preceding 2. What does it mean? Means 2 rows before this, and rows following means 2 rows after this. So total how many rows become? 5 rows. Okay. So for example, so what we do whenever we so now let's think this way. Whenever you are going to write down any basically any window function code, you need to also ask first question. First, you need to ask yourself whether the window I'm selecting, is it static or it is dynamic. The first question you need to ask yourself. Okay. Now in dynamic, if it is static, fine, we have done. When you are using dynamic, you need to add something to your window function code, and that is the concept of rows between. So how to write rows between? You will write down rows between. Okay. Now remember, for example, for any window, let's say this is a window, this is your current row. Let's say this is your current row. There will be few rows preceding to this. Okay, so these are called rows preceding. Means in that window, how many rows are you considering before this current row? And rows following means how many rows you are considering after that particular current row. Okay, so how what the syntax looks like that, for example, you will mention let's say rows between. So if I have 3 rows before this, I will write down rows between 3 preceding. Okay, and what, and it will be, let's say, for example, 3 following. you need to add this extra tag, extra syntax in your code. This means that, for example, when we this means total of 7 rows. This means total of 7 because 3 preceding, 3 following, and the current one. Okay, so for example, let us say I'm doing this particular question here. So suppose I have to calculate let's say I ask you, tell me the total sales 2 days prior and 2 days after for, let's say, Priya on 5th of January. For example, let's say this is my current row. Okay, let's say I pick this as my current row. So what will be 2 rows preceding to this? It will be this and this. Okay, and it 2 rows like following will be this and this. So for this value, if I have to calculate, let's say, sum of 2 days prior and 2 days, let's say, including after, this will become my window for this row. Okay, now let us say I talk for this row. Let's say I talk for row number 14 now. What will be the window for 14? Can you tell me? For this, what will be the window?
So 500 and 700 will
Yes.
be preceding.
Yes. So here preceding will be 2 because we are taking 2 preceding. So it will become, what happened to this? So this will become 2 and this will become 2. So the window for 800 will become this one. Okay. So what is happening? As you're moving down within each window, this window keeps on changing. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear or yeah, upar se gaya? Tell me.
No, understood.
So where is this used? For example, I ask you to calculate moving average. Do you know the meaning of moving average? So moving average, or its definition, it keeps on changing as per your business requirement. But generally we say that a moving average means average of today's sales, previous day sales, and next day sales. Suppose you want this. So what will you use? Tell me, what syntax will you add? Suppose you have to create a moving average with previous day, today, and next day. What will you use? What syntax will you add to this? Suppose I'm calculating sales amount for each. This is the data sales amount. I need to calculate a moving average for each person. And the condition is, the definition of moving average is this.
So we need to consider the rows between one preceding and one following.
Yes, we will consider rows between one preceding and one following. So for each of the row, this will be the window, right? So it will keep on changing. For this, it will be the window. For this, it will be the window. Window will keep on changing. Is this much clear, guys? Any doubt, anyone?
No.
इतने अच्छे से सबको क्लियर कैसे हो गया, मुझे बताओ. There must be some doubt that कैसे होगा, क्या कैलकुलेट हो रहा है. Any doubt, anyone? Okay. So now we need to study 2 more things for this. After this, it is over. Now, if you see the for example, the cumulative, can you solve cumulative using this, the way I told you? How will you solve cumulative now? Let's say this is let's consider Sneha. How will you calculate cumulative for her as we move forward in each of the day? We discussed about current row, n preceding, and n following. We discussed about these things, right? Let's say this is current row, n preceding, and following, but the window will keep on changing as I move here. The scenario here was that my top row was fixed and it kept on increasing, right? So how will you write code for that where your top row is fixed? So window is dynamic, but there is another condition that one end of window is fixed. So right now what we were doing, both end of window were moving, were dynamic. But right now we are having one end of window I want to keep it static, other end of window I want to keep dynamic. So what we do, there are two more things you need to add. That is what is that called? Unpreceded. Yes. I'm sorry, unbounded preceding. Yeah. Unbounded keyword you need to add. So what does it mean? So remember, there are total of 5 things in rows between and rows. So one was, so we did 3 things. We did current, right? We did n preceding. We did n following. N means number of rows before or after. Now, because sometimes my n is fixed, so what we use unbounded preceding, and we use unbounded following. Unbounded following. What does unbounded do is that suppose you have created a window here. Okay. When you use unbounded preceding for any particular window, let's say this is the window which you are having. Okay. What it will do, let's say this is the variable name, window starts from here. When we say unbounded means it is fixed at one end. Okay. And preceding means prior. So for example, let's say this is my current row, which I am in. Okay. Let's say this is my current row. What it will do, it will fix from the top as we were seeing, and it will only calculate till the current row. So as suppose my current row changes next row, next time my current row becomes this one. Okay. So what will happen? This will become my window. Okay. So my window will technically keep on changing, but one end will be fixed and second end will keep on, because second end I'm controlling with this and one end I'm controlling with this. Okay. So that's how things are going. Your every window which you create is controlled from one end and from the other end. So for example, when you have to use cumulative, your top row has to be fixed. So you use unbounded preceding, and current row will keep on moving, right? So the rows will be between unbounded preceding and current row. Okay. Got it, guys? Is it clear or not?
Clear.
Clear. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा? I will use unbounded rows between unbounded preceding and and current row. Okay. And one last syntax, which as in, what if I write unbounded preceding and unbounded following? What does it mean? Can someone tell me what will this do when I use unbounded preceding and unbounded following? Tell me.
Current value.
Yeah, please tell me.
Current value.
Rows between tell me what is the meaning of unbounded preceding?
So it takes the starting of the window.
It takes the top of that window, starting of that window.
And it goes
what
to
does
the
unbounded following do?
Yeah, it goes to the bottom.
It goes to the end.
Last one.
It means that your whole window will be selected. So it does not matter. So basically, now tell me, when we were already doing sum and we were not using these two, we were still having the same result, right? So it means unbounded preceding and unbounded following is optional. You can skip them because they technically mean the same only. But what is working in the backend? Backend, it's working this only. So whenever you try to write down average or something, always try to use these as well so that you understand properly, right? So when your whole window is fixed, it means you are unbounded preceding and unbounded following. If I ask a rolling, let's say rolling average, rolling sum, so what is happening? It is unbounded preceding and current row, right? If I say tell me a moving average of sales between 3 days and 2 days, so depending upon whatever question is asked, you will check the current row. From the current row, you will go to n top and n bottom, depending upon whatever is given in the question. Yeah, it will take the whole data set, right? So whenever you sum, for example, you use sum across something, in the backend, these things are there. But because they are just hidden, because they even if you use or do not use them, they don't make any difference. Okay. So is this concept clear to you guys? Shall we practice some questions on this? I mean, I will run the code and show you how it is done. Right now, I've only shown theoretically. Let me show you practically as well. Okay. So let me get the data. Okay. So this was the data we were having. We're discussing in Excel, right? So, okay, sales transaction. Okay. Select star from sales underscore transaction. Please, आप लोग इसको बहुत clearly देखना. Right, I'm explaining you a lot of concepts here. So what did we study? There are total 5 concepts in this, in rows between. In rows between, there are 5 concepts. What is the one? First is n preceding. Preceding. Then it is n following. Then third is, third हमेशा ही चलेगा, current underscore row. Okay. Fourth is unbounded preceding, and fifth is unbounded following. What you need to keep in mind, आपको ये रट्टा नहीं मानना. You need to keep this one, that any window will have a top end and it will have a bottom end. How will you determine whether that? You just need to ask yourself that whether that window is fixed or not, if it is dynamic, whether its top is fixed or not. If both are not fixed, then what is the condition that you need to see? So let's figure out few of the questions from this table. So let us say I have to calculate cumulative. First, let's have to calculate cumulative sales for each person. Okay. Now you guys tell. I will ask question. You guys tell me. Query मैं लिखूंगा. Just tell me thing. Let's say when I have to write down this. So first of all, I will do. Let's say select person name. Okay. Let's say I do sales person underscore name. Now, what I need to do? Window function में क्या चीजें होती हैं? Function this over and partition by and order by. Right. These are 3 things. So let's say I write it down. Sum over partition by and order by. So tell me, what will come in partition by?
Salesperson.
It will come because we are creating window based on salesperson name. And what will be order by? Will it be region, date, or sales amount? Date, because we are calculating cumulative sales over the various days, right? From the first of the month to the second, third, and fourth. So I will say transaction date. This much we did so far. This much you guys know. What you need to do, just you need to add something in front of this. Okay. So what we will do now, that so let's say sum over this. Now I will do rows between. You need to add rows between. Now tell me, if I have to calculate cumulative sum, what should be the top end of the window? No, tell me. First of all, let me ask you this. I have to calculate cumulative sales of each person. So will the window for each person be static or dynamic? First tell me this.
Dynamic.
Dynamic. Yes, because it keeps on changing. If it is dynamic, what will be the top end and what will be the bottom end? Let's come here. Here, what
First
is the
row.
top end of the window?
The first row.
The first, we are hinging ourselves at the top, right? Like for every row, when we calculate, we are hinging our top. Is that correct? Whenever we, let's say we are at this row, this is our window. When I am at this row, this is my window. So what do you see? What is the common thing? The top row is common for each of the row. Agreed or not? Guys, yes or no? Tell me. Tell me, is the top
Yes.
row for each of the window fixed or not?
Yes.
When it is fixed, what will we use?
Bounded preceding.
We'll use unbounded preceding. Remember, and rows between this and what will be the bottom row of each window? If you clearly notice, the bottom row of each window is changing.
Current row.
So it will be the current row, because we want sum up to that particular date. So what we are using between this and the current underscore row. Okay. And now I will say, okay, let's say this as cumulative underscore sales from, let's say my table name is sales underscore transactions. So this is how you write down a code. This part you already did before this. We just added few lines, rows between unbounded preceding and current row. Okay. Now let me run this. So salesperson name, let me add sales underscore amount.
And also spelling of partition.
There is a partition and sum of, let me add sales underscore amount. Okay. Wait a second. Partition by salesperson name, order by transaction. Okay, sorry. This not current. It has to be current space row. Yeah, I think this will be it. It has to be current underscore current space row. Now see this data. For current, can you see? It was 200 on the day one. So let me also add a transaction date so that it becomes clear for you. Okay. Now see this. For current, if you see this, what is happening? On the first day, its transaction sales amount is 200. So I got the sum as 200. On the second day, it is 500. Technically, it is the sum of these two, right? So what is the sum of these two? It is 500. On the third day, it should be the sum of from top to this 4 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 9. So it is 900. On the list this day, it should be the sum of these 5, 4, 9, 3, 12, 14. So it is 1400. And 14 plus 6 on next, it will be 2000. And then next will be 2700. So that is how the cumulative sales is created for this particular person. So this whole dynamic window is controlled by using rows between concept. Is it clear, guys? Tell me if you have any doubt. I can give you the syntax. You can just run and try to understand. Let me tell you, there is not too much to remember in the code. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. Window function अभी तक लिखा था ना आपने, right? Window function लिखा था. So window function तक same है. You are just adding a logic. मेरा rows का this will remain same. Now think like this. Rows between yes fix है. ये this will always be same. You only have to decide this part, whether this part and this part. Only have to decide this part. बाकी code same है. I will show you. Let's write down a question. Let's say I have to calculate moving average for each transaction. Condition is 2 days prior and 2 days after. And 2 days after. Okay, so what does it mean? That for each row you have to calculate the average. So average जैसे हम calculate करते थे हम वैसे ही करेंगे. Let me take the whole code. So just see, you don't need to remember any, like it's not some too much to remember. Let me tell you how. So for example, we need to calculate average, right? So I will change this with average. Got it? Now tell me, when I say 2 days prior and 2 days after, so for the, first tell me, is this a dynamic window or a static window? Tell me guys, is it a dynamic window or a static? Dynamic window, right? Dynamic window. What is the top with reference to current row? What is the top row? So let's say this is my current row, right? For which we need to calculate. We need to calculate cumulatives, like average for each of the row. So for each of the row, what is the condition? I want 2 days prior to that, correct? I want this, and I need 2 days after this. So what is my window? This is my window, technically. And if you see, 2 days before current row and 2 days after current row. So what will you write in the code? It will remain the same. See, rows between same रहेगा, कुछ नहीं change करना. There will be few rows before current row. So how many rows are before the current row? Tell me.
2.
You'll just add 2. And what is the last bottom part of the window? How many days after the current row?
2.
So what you will do, you'll say 2 following. That's it. कुछ और नहीं करना. That's it. Just change the variable as average sales. Or you'll say moving average. Moving underscore average. Okay. You just run it and you will get the moving average. अभी वो decimal आ रहा है, it's fine. Will round it up to, let's say, 2 decimal place. Round this to, let's say, 1 decimal place. Sorry, I did wrong. Round of okay, round तुम देख लेंगे, it's fine. So this is it. Round of this comma 1 आ जाएगा. Anyways, you guys understand now. Now let's verify this. This is current, for example. Let's pick any of the row. Let's pick this row. Okay, 600. So what will be the let's say pick something in the middle, 500. So इसकी window क्या होगी? 2 days prior means this and this, correct? So the average for current, which is 500, it should be the average of these 5. So 3 plus 4, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 6, 18 plus 7. What is 18 plus 7? 25. 2500 divided by 5. How much is it? 500. So it is 500. You can test yourself as well. अब क्वेश्चन में क्या आएगा, क्वेश्चन में दे विल कीप ऑन चेंजिंग दिस कंडीशन, दैट कभी 1 day prior, कभी 4 day prior, it will keep on changing. The code is just this only. Okay, you need to determine whether it is, sometime it will be between preceding, sometime unbounded preceding, sometime following, sometime unbounded following, वो चीज चेंज होती रहेगी, but the code will remain same. यही पार्ट है, बस आपको ये सोचना है कि ये कैसे चेंज होगा. This will depend upon the question. Okay, this part is fixed, you only need to worry about this part. The rest although we already did before this. Okay, so tell me guys, is it difficult?
Not difficult, just need to practice maybe, then
Yeah,
will
once you
be-
practice now, once you do hands-on practice, you will remember. After class, you have the data, right? Try to create few scenarios of your own, right? And test that. It will help you learn more. That, okay, let's say I will take 3-day average. So you just try to write down a 3-day average, one preceding, one following, and all. Just try out those different combinations. You will understand. But the logic on how you should solve the question is this only, that first of all, ask yourself if the window is static or dynamic. If the window is static, fine, you don't need rows between. But if the window is dynamic, you need rows between. Okay, so that decision whether your window is dynamic or static, that needs to come from you. That is where you need to think upon. Okay, is it clear guys?
yes.
Please ask
There
me
was
if you have any question. But just ऐसा ही एक, just like rows between, एक simple same concept है range between का, I will tell you. But tell me if you have any question. Yes. Yes, someone was asking anything.
I was not asking, actually I have a question. There was a question that was asked in interview, so I'm not sure वो इसी concept से होगा या नहीं.
आप बताओ क्या question है, tell me.
So like same table in row, like if I take the third row,
Okay.
18, transaction 18.
Okay.
So we have to calculate average for each row, in which it will like for current will calculate average leaving the current row. Like if I have to calculate the average for 18th row, it should be 200, 300, 500, 600 and 700 and not 400.
Yeah, it is
Same
exactly वो इसी concept पे होगा, बस उसमें आपको एक additional variable बना के subtract करना पड़ेगा current row.
Okay.
So that you need, एक बार आप उसको try करना. It's a good question. Basically you need to you know the window, right? आपको पहले window का calculate करना पड़ेगा, फिर window में से you need to subtract the value for the current row, and then it will give you the result.
Okay.
Can someone tell me how will we do that? Okay, tell me. Take 2 minutes, try to solve. We have like 15-20 more minutes. Okay. Then let's try. Can someone try to tell how will we do using? Can someone think how can we do this?
Satvi, here can we do like unbounded proceeding and unbounded following minus current row like that? Or something.
Unbounded preceding, then
Unbounded following.
Okay.
Minus current row.
No, but her window keeps on changing ना. उनका जो window है, it is dynamic. if you do unbounded, let's say आपने unbounded preceding और ये ले लिया, right?
हाँ.
ये तो फिक्स रहेगा ना. It is not a cumulative average or moving average. You are just removing the current ones. What she's saying is that your window will keep on changing, okay? But for every window, you have to exclude the current row.
Okay.
So let me tell you how you will do this. Think like this. Break the question in two parts, okay? Break this question into two parts, as in. So let me first little bit clear the mess that I've created here. So suppose your question is you want to create, let's say the question is you calculate moving average, okay, 1 day preceding and 1 day after, for example, excluding current day. So what is happening for Abhi, for example, let us say I talk about this particular row. Let's say for 18, I have 18 ke liye mere paas, this will be the window, right? 1 day preceding and 1 day following, which we were discussing. For 20, let's say I will have this window. But there is an additional condition. I want to exclude the current row, right? So what is happening for 18? Actually, we are doing, so for 18, if you properly notice, we are doing this. Yeah. For 18, let's say this is 18, right? For 18, this is my thing and this is my thing, correct? Or let's say I talk about moving average 2 rows before, 2 rows after. So let's say this is my window and this is my window because I have excluded this part. Now tell me, can I break this question in two parts? First, calculate the moving average between, or let's say sales between these two, and then calculate the sales between these two. Can you do that? So let's say I'm talking about cumulative sales, right? What you will do? You'll do two things. So let's say this is the sales. So first you say that rows between 2 preceding and 1 preceding. Okay. What will this give? Tell me. What will this value give? Guys, कुछ तो बताओ यार.
2 rows and then
current
one row.
row से
Yeah.
2 row ऊपर
Current row से
and
पहले
one
जो 2 rows है उनका बता देगा, right?
हाँ.
Let's say I want to calculate and I add one more thing to it. Let's say I add same thing. Okay. Partition by, I say 1 following and 2 following. Tell me, what will this give? This will give me
current
sales
row
2
से
rows after the current row.
Yeah.
And when I add these, instead of 5 rows, I will get 4 rows. Correct? इसमें current row exclude हो जाएगा. Similarly, you can think for average, min, max, like whatever you want to do. Does this make sense, guys?
yes, it does make sense, but
What's the
okay.
doubt?
Like अगर वो लास्ट तक लेके जाना हो तो वो अनबाउंडेड कर देंगे क्या उसको?
अनबाउंडेड कर देना, उसमें क्या सीन है? सपोज यू वांट कि एंड तक चाहिए तो यू विल से अनबाउंडेड फॉलोइंग. ये तो आप चेंज कर सकते हो ना डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर क्वेश्चन.
हाँ 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 हाँ. एंड सिमिलरली लाइक उससे ऊपर चाहिए होगा तो
अनबाउंडेड फॉलोइंग कर दो. व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू डू यू कैन प्ले अराउंड विद इट. सो इफ यू जस्ट ऐड देम, वो आपको दे देगा लाइक व्हाटएवर You can play around you can create a lot of creative questions based on this. Concept will remain same. Basically query itni रहेगी, आपको ये preceding following सब change करना होगा. So that is something you need to understand. Tell me guys.
इंटरव्यूज में मैक्सिमम क्या सारे क्वेश्चंस विंडो से ही आते हैं फिर.
Yeah, as I told you, window function is a great way to solve complicated problems in easy format. This is if you have to solve this cumulative sales through other format, right? You will you can solve, but there will be lot of challenges, like lot of difficult methods you will need to, lot of subqueries you will need to write. Window function, trust me, if you literally learn window function, your SQL will become pro. I'm telling you, because every question can be solved using window function. Every question can be solved using window function. And there are limited concepts like understanding the window, understanding whether it is static or dynamic, right? Then deciding which thing to take, and that's it. So interview mein, it's not that people give you window function. Again, window function is an optional thing. It's not that you have to solve everything through window function, but solving through window function becomes easier. That's the thing. So what I do, I'm telling you my experience, I solve using only window function. So I have just made it myself that every question I will solve using window function only. And it helps me a lot. So you can also build that approach. Again, I'm not forcing anyone, but I'm sharing my experience. Solving through window function, it will help you a lot. Just think, how could you have solved this question? For example, which one you said, ki top to low current ko skip kar do and all that. How would you have solved without using window function in 5 to 6 lines? Tell me. It would have not been possible. आपको joins करने पड़ते, फिर exclude करना पड़ता, like बहुत सारे logic लगाने पड़ते. So उससे better है window function सीख लो. That's what I think. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Pakka?
Hmm.
Just one last concept. I will just take 5 more minutes. Okay. Concept kya? Ek range between. I just have to explain you range between the problem. There is one drawback of rows between. Okay, which can be solved using range between. So depending upon the question, you need to decide what to use. So what happened here? For example, let's say I said, मैंने बोला यहाँ पे, आप लोग बताना, right? That this transaction date. For example, I tell you, calculate the cumulative average of sales amount of person on that day, 2 days prior. For example, let's say 2 days prior. Okay, just give me a second. It says that you have to calculate 2 days prior. So for this row, it will become this, right? And 2 days after. Now, what if we missed one basic assumption? I mean, we made a basic assumption which is not always true. What if this customer would have done multiple transactions on the same day? Presently, what are we using? We are using 2 preceding and 2 following, correct? Now think like this. Suppose data में ऐसा कुछ होता. Let's say so this is, let's say the customer, this is 3, right? So let's say I copy this date here, and let's say this customer did multiple transactions. For example, he did 150 on that day, he also did 500 that day, and he did 400. Okay, and let's say this is 1, 4 or 23, for example. Now tell me, suppose I ask you, tell me let's say the question is, tell me the moving average for each day given 2 days, like 2 days before and 2 days after. Now for this row, for example, let's say when you are present at this row, if you just do 2 days preceding, what will happen? If you just do 2 days, 2 rows preceding, what will happen? ये यहां तक जाएगा, correct? And it will come till here. Now, is it calculating? This is 3. So ideally it should have covered second and first both, but it is only covering second of that month, second of that January. It is not covering the first of that month. Right or wrong?
Yes.
This is the drawback here of this. So for example, let's say this scenario, that the person is doing multiple transactions. So let's say this is my data. Okay, I do little bit of sorting based on name. Okay, there are no duplicates here, sorry. Okay, suppose there are duplicates. So let's say I introduce duplicates here. Okay, so 1 1 2 2 3, right? And I will add few more rows. Insert, insert, insert. Okay, and let's say I add these. So this becomes, so technically, if you see, 3 is repeating multiple times, right? And customer did different transaction on that day. Let's say 1000, it did 1000 किया, फिर उसने 400 किया, फिर उसने 500 किया, 500 किया. Right now, for if you use row between for this customer, let's say, will we get the correct result? Tell me, guys. So this is pre-off, right? For this person, let's say I want to calculate 1 day before and 1 day after. When I am present at this row, it will 1 day before will because rows between kya karta hai? It does not check 1 day before, it just check 1 rows before, and it checks 1 row after. It does not care about date, but this will give me incorrect result. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So how can we solve this?
Use range.
Yeah, so we have to give a constraint not on rows, we have to give a constraint on the variable, that we have to mention that for example, let us say they ask 1 day one day before, right, or 1 day after. So what you can do, simply go to the code what we have created here. Just this is the last thing, guys. We are done. So for example, let's say I take this code, I will copy it, transactions, select star from transactions. Okay, so what will I do? I can do this thing. I'll say select. Okay, so let's say salesperson underscore name. I will say transaction underscore date. Okay, then I will say sum of, let's say, sales underscore amount over, let's say, so partition partition by what is the partition by? Sales person underscore name, order by transaction underscore date. Okay, yahan tak to clear hai. Now let's study the remaining part. Instead of using instead of saying for example rows between, we will say range between. Now what we want 1 day before the current date and 1 day after the current date. Agreed? Yeah. Okay, so Do you guys remember how can we move from current date to next one day? हमने एक concept पढ़ा था, if you guys remember.
Yeah, in date function.
Interval याद है?
Interval, yeah.
Interval 1 day preceding, okay, and interval, what will be there? 1 day following, okay, as cumulative sales from transactions. So what this will ensure is that even if your data has duplicate, it will still give you 1 day preceding and 1 day following. Okay, so you have to use the concept of interval, 1 day, 1 month, or like whatever you want to use.
Can you paste that one in chat?
Yeah, I'll do that. Wait a second. Between interval 1 days, I think it is this interval range between interval. Just a second. Interval of.
Check in the Google.
Yeah, I'm just. Can someone just confirm the query? What is? I'll also check on Google. Okay, so it's showing we have to use this colon here. Okay, 1 days and interval 1 days. Select salesperson name. Oh, sorry. From transactions.
The table name is sales_transaction.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just ये चीज देखो हर SQL server में vary करती है, so even you can just check it this on Google. But the main concept is you have when we introduce this concept, it will does not matter if your data has duplicates, it will cater all the days, and this will help you get information. Is it correct, guys?
Yes.
Anyone, any question? You can vary. Yeah, 1 day, 5 day, so you can keep on varying depending upon your thing. But okay, suppose you without date. So what? Suppose without date. Suppose you want to use on some other filter. Let's say I will say I want to make this on sales_amount. Then I will say range between. Suppose I want only those sales which are greater than 2. For example, 500. Between 500 and let's say I'll mention 1000. What will this do? This will give me only those sales which are less between these two. So now this will not create window based on date. It will create window based on values. Okay. So you can use this as well. Range between. So partition by as cumulative sales. Range between. Sorry, this is 500 preceding. Yeah, this you have to include, and 100 following. So it will give you those ranges where your sales_amount are in this range. So no, this is not the right way. Wait a second. Between 500 preceding, 500 preceding, it should.
ఉంగలే క్లాస్ అయ్యి ఏ క్లాస్ అయ్యి ఉంగలే 10 minutes.
Just give me a second. I'm just cross-checking it. Uh, 500 sales. Yeah, no. So it only gives you the it should give between 100. So order by sales amount, it should give between 500 and 1000. Yep.
But it is giving 700 also.
No, that's what I'm running. I'm just checking why is it not giving? That's what I'm thinking. It does give range between partition by range between. Some I've taken right salesperson order by sales amount. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it does not allow for Postgres. I just checked it. Maybe it will allow for MySQL. But you can simply use where condition. If you have to filter between the range values, you can simply put a where condition instead of range. Right? So what you can do there, you can simply do this from transaction where sales amount between 500 and 1000. So this will also do, I think. Yeah, this is more better. Yeah. So your sales amount is between these two. So first of all, it will filter based on these two values, and after that, it will create the vendor function. So that is also true. Yeah. So this is it. Like few servers allow, few do not allow. It's up to that. But yeah, mainly the concept is this: why we use range between? We use range between if we have to, if there are duplicates, just like we saw for dates, right? There we use range between, and if you want only rows, you can use rows between. So that depends upon your question, your type of data. So guys, that's it for today. I think we are like way over the time limit. So if you have any question on this, doubt on any this, like whatever we discussed, let me know. Otherwise, let's have the session tomorrow and we will continue.
Hello, that cricket final query, can you give somebody? Cricket's
cricket final query, which query you are looking for? Actually, I deleted my query. I'm just
you said maximum percentage to pick up.
Yeah, so okay. You have to use I don't have that pasted here. Basically what you have to do, you have to use this query, you have to take and you have to apply order by and limit to that, limit 1, then it will give you the result. Okay,
Order by
they're posted, you can see the query.
Okay, thank you
guys. So thanks for joining. Let me know if you have any doubt. We have a session in evening, but that is optional. You guys don't need to necessarily join. If someone has interest, he or she can join. Otherwise, you can skip it. We will continue tomorrow. We will have the session on joins. We will do self join, cross join, natural join, and few other questions on joins. And then we will be done with. So we are done from the window functions point of view. All these concepts which we learned are very, very important. Very, very important. Like, you have to really change your approach of solving the question by explicitly using window function. We will do. I will teach you once will have a session on art of solving SQL question. In that, I will tell you how to use window function to efficiently solve. But first of all, please understand all the function. How do they work? Right? Then only you will understand those parts. So that's it. If someone has any question, doubt, please let me know.
Increment descending.
Satvik, evening you said that it is on AI or machine learning. You said something, right?
It is on ML ops. It is on the Docker. So it is actually the deployment part, right? So it is not even if you don't know machine learning, it's fine. It has nothing to do with machine learning. It's how to deploy models and projects in real time, like so that everyone can use. So it's on that topic.
So
Okay.
MLOps is required for data engineering?
It is required for data engineers as well. So it is, see, mainly it's DevOps. People have just named it MLOps, Data Ops, or LLM Ops, right? The main thing is this is called DevOps. That how do you deploy your any project in real time so that people can, like, you can build, for example, you write code on your system, but when you have to deploy an application in real time, you have to put that code somewhere, right? So that everyone can access. For example, you access, just like you access data science website, right? I created the code, it is present on my system, but you guys don't have it. So you're able to access the website, right? So how is it happening? So that is a part of learning. Doing project is a separate part. Deploying it on a real time is a different part. Right? So that's what we are going to learn in those series. Again, for that you don't need to know machine learning and all that. The concept remains same for every field. So if you're interested, it should be workshop. Today we are just having an introduction and we'll do Docker. So we will be studying Docker a little bit. Moving ahead, we will see like how it goes. But yeah, for people, this is it. Let me know, guys, if you have any doubt. Otherwise, let's connect tomorrow. And
Hi, this cricket data structure table, where it's available?
It's present on the drive. I shared it. This drive it is present. You can check it. Just go to this. There is data available. You can check in the PDF.
Thank you very much.
So thank you, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Let's connect tomorrow.
Satvik, I have a question. It's not related to this. So basically, I wanted to ask, like, I have a SharePoint list. So can I connect Postgres to SharePoint list and do the manipulation in the list?
I've heard people. I have not done myself. I've heard people do that. I need to check it.
Okay.
Maybe, I mean, let me explore after the class. Maybe I don't, because I forgot, to be honest. It's been long. I used SharePoint. So, but I have heard people doing that. I've seen people connected to Power BI as well. So if people connect to Power BI, people should be able to connect with Postgres as well. That's what I'm thinking.
So basically, I work on SharePoint list. So that way, like, it would be helpful if I use Postgres to manipulate that list.
Okay.
Currently, I'm using Access.
I will check that. I'll check that and let you know.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So anyone?
Hello, boss. Hello.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, this one, that cricket structure is not there. Some
athlete
structure is there. Athlete event structure is there.
Everything is there. Go to the data set. Everything is there. Cricket is the last one. Lead lag.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, guys, thanks. I think no one has any doubt. So thanks again for joining. I appreciate. We have last few classes remaining of the course. Please revise, practice, and yep. So thanks again for joining the class. We'll resume tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.